Good morning, my friends. How are you today? I was just here with my little pot of daylilies from yesterday and just updating my daylilies. So I'm going to continue doing that as we have a little talk. I am so excited to be here with you today. I am struggling today. I'm having a little bit of a hard time, and we'll talk about that. We'll also talk about our applique school. So, I'm Sue Pelland, and I love to teach people how to applique in a new way so that you can fall in love with applique and have a wonderful time doing it and make beautiful applique quilts that you are confident to make and proud of. So, why am I struggling today? Everybody has their ups and downs in their life. And today I'm struggling that my dog is he's in the vet hospital. He is in intensive care, and it's really a touchy situation. So, what did I do? I didn't prepare for today's sewing in slippers because I had a whole lot of other things on my mind. But I do want to spend some time with you because I want to talk about what we do when things start to fall apart. How do we handle things when things start to fall apart around us? And how can our quilting be a retreat for us, a place to go to that keeps us positive, keeps us moving forward, and keeps us excited about doing something that we love to do, even when life around us might be a little bit tricky. So, I want to talk about your mindset today, and especially your mindset for quilting. And because a lot of you are members of my Ahead of the Curve community, I want to talk about what's happening in Ahead of the Curve over the next couple of weeks and how this little blip can possibly impact what's going to happen around here over the next couple of weeks. So let's talk about dealing with life's little crisis. Okay. Margaret Smith, good welcome. Oh, sorry to hear about Gilligan sending healing thoughts. Thank you, Debbie West. So nice to see you here today. So when life throws me a little curveball like this, one of my best things in the world to do is get out in nature. So I love to garden. I absolutely love daylilies. This is just a common daylily that just grows wild around here in New England. And I have a lot of those in my woods and in my yard. But I also love these other beautiful varieties of daylilies, these pretty little pink ones here. My yellow daylilies are so bright and sunny and fun. So I only had a couple of lilies because every daylilies drop their blossoms. So they only open up for one day. And then the next day, the next little bud will open up. And so you have daylilies that go on for a long period of time, but they only open for one day and then they're gone. So every morning when I need to de-stress or start my day out with just some quiet contemplation, I walk around my garden and I do a little deadheading. That means I take off the spent blooms, the daylilies that have already gone by, and that leaves room for these fresh, beautiful new blooms to come out every single day. So this is something that just makes me happy. I love walking around in my garden and I love being out there in nature, and it really gives me the best possible mindset to start my day. So I do that with my morning coffee, and it's really a positive experience for me. What if you're not a gardener? What else can you do to get yourself in that positive mindset, even though you might be going through some stresses in your life? Well, one of those things that really is wonderful for me is applique. And I'll tell you why. That motion, that applique stitching, after you've gotten all of your applique cut and fused. We did that yesterday in applique school. I showed you how to cut and fuse your applique shapes using Misty Fuse. After you have cut and fused your shapes, that repetitive motion of the sewing machine, doing the blanket stitch around your applique shapes. Let me show you what I mean. I just finished one of my borders. I'm doing the lap size cave clamshell quilt. So I only have 2 rows of clamshells on my borders. Most people that are doing bigger quilts have 3 rows of clamshells. But I've got these 2 rows of clamshells, and it's that motion of the repetitive stitching. It just calms my, excuse me, it just calms my nerves. I'm going to need to grab some water. It is just that repetitive motion is so relaxing to me. It really just is mindless. It's kind of brainless. Yes, you do have to keep up with going around your curves. Yes, you do have to deal with little points and little problems here and there. But for the most part, it's such a relaxing, meditative motion that I just get in the zone when I'm doing blanket stitching, and I can think about other things. I can really process what's happening in my life when I sit and meditate with my applique. So I've been doing a lot of that this week because I've been dealing with this stressful situation. So I was able to, last Friday, we had a sit and sew day with our Ahead of the Curve members. And Debbie West, we missed you. Margaret was there. Mary Pop, we missed you too. So we have once a month, we have a sit and sew day for our Ahead of the Curve members. And that was last Friday. So let me show you what I got to do last Friday. And what I'm going to be showing you are the projects that are upcoming in our Ahead of the Curve community. So every month you have 2 workshops to choose from. So let's go through the next workshop that's coming up. So we decided this year to do our Almost in Baltimore series. That's a new Baltimore block every month. And that Baltimore block can be kept plain or it can be fancy. So you can make this Baltimore block in a very easy way, a very straightforward way, or you can mix it up and make it a little fancier to challenge yourself if you are a level 2 or 3 applique quilter. If you're a beginner, you want to start with the simple version. And if you're more advanced, if you like the way it looks when you add elements to your block, then you can make it a little bit more fancy. So the blocks that I'm going to be showing you today are the plain blocks. What I do is I make the plain block first, and then when I'm running the workshop, I'm working on the fancy version of that block. But there are instructions for both the plain and fancy version in the student supplement. So the plain version of the Baltimore block for July is the pomegranate block. When we're making the pomegranate block, one of the challenges we're going to have is to make that inside of the pomegranate look like little seeds. So I found a fabric that looked like little seeds. So that's one technique you can use, is choosing the right fabric for the job. But we're also going to be talking about a couple other ways to make the inside of that pomegranate look like seeds if you don't have a fabric that will do that for you. So that's one of the challenges, is to find some new techniques that you can use in your quilts to add detail to your applique quilts to make the objects not look like fabric, but look like what they represent. So our pomegranate block is our July Almost in Baltimore block, and this is the plain version. And this month and next month, our plain version and our fancy version are not really grossly different. They're very similar, because it's a very full block. So there's not a whole lot of room to add more design elements to the fancy block. Okay, so the next month in August, our Baltimore block is related to the pomegranate block. One of the things you want to do in a Baltimore album quilt is balance your blocks and make sure that they all work well together. So if you have a pomegranate block that has 4 definite elements, we're going to balance that out with our oak and reel block that also has 4 basic elements. And you'll see that the center of this block is very similar to the pomegranate block. But the techniques that we're going to be exploring in this block are swags. How do we make swags with rotary cut applique? And what happens when you can't cut your shapes with rotary cut applique, how do we get those oak leaf shapes, for example, when rotary cut applique doesn't work for that type of a curve? So I'm going to give you some strategies to use your Misty Fuse to cut odd shapes that are not rotary cut applique shapes. But everything in the center of this block, everything but that one shape, the oak leaf shape, is done with rotary cut applique, even those adorable little acorns. So if you wanted a plain block, you could eliminate the acorns. If you want a fancier block, we're going to add another level. We're going to add some buds in there, some flower buds in there. So you can make this plain or fancy. You can eliminate the acorns or keep them. This is a really fun block. Those acorns are just adorable. And there's so many different techniques that you can continue to learn with rotary cut applique. Now, if you're not doing the Almost in Baltimore with us, there are other choices for your workshop. So in July, we have a walking foot quilting class using the Leaves Galore tools. Now, you can do walking foot quilting with lots of different designs. Walking foot quilting works well when you have marked your design and our graceful curves using the Leaves Galore tool are perfect for marking a graceful curve that you can complete with your walking foot. You'll notice these curves go edge to edge on my fabric. And by placing them on a grid pattern, we're going to get that beautiful clamshell look. So we're going to practice this using your walking foot. So we're going to be making up 3 quilt sandwiches. We're going to mark 3 different designs using the Leaves Galore tools. We're going to do an orange peel design. And then we're going to fill our orange peel design and mark our feathers. So at the end of our walking foot quilting class, we're going to explore taking that walking foot design, the orange peel design, and adding a filler pattern using free motion quilting. So we are going to touch on free motion quilting also for that feather, but I'm going to show you the easy way to do it by marking your design with the tools first so that you have some really small spaces to fill, so it takes away the intimidation factor of having to machine quilt. These are the first feathers I ever machine quilted. I think they look pretty good, and I'm going to show you how to get those nice rounded feather bits so that you can practice this technique as well. And when you practice on small little samples like this, you're going to be able to perfect these designs, and then you can add these designs to any quilt. Walking foot is the way to go when you first start quilting because it takes all the scariness out. When you can mark your design, you know where to go, you have a plan. So we're going to tackle walking foot quilting with a little bit of free motion quilting in our July workshop. Okay. As always, if you cannot decide and you decide to take both workshops, there is a small fee for the second workshop. So I love it when you choose one workshop because I don't want you to get overwhelmed. I don't want you to put too much on your plate. However, I know some of you have the time and you have the desire to learn machine quilting. So that this time, because it's such a different technique, because it is machine quilting instead of applique, I'm sure you would be fine with both workshops. Now, our Platinum Leaf members, I will put the walking foot quilting class into the recorded video section. So you don't need to take both classes. You can watch the replay once it's in there. So that's for our Platinum Leaf members. That's why Platinum Leaf gets all those advantages. They pay a little bit more, but they have more access to the recorded videos. Okay. All right. So August, I already showed you the August block. That was the Oak and Reel block. August for our other workshop is going to be this beautiful quilt that we're calling Spring Fling. I made this for my son's doctor. She was having a baby and I made this quilt for her. This is an exact replica of the one that I gave her, same fabrics and everything. And the biggest technique that we're going to be playing with here is the borders. So we're going to use that curve technique on the borders to make our border fabric. And you'll notice all the different stitches on that border fabric. We're going to be playing with our sewing machines and learning how to use other stitches other than the blanket stitch for your applique. So that's the main purpose of this pattern, is to play with other stitches. However, you'll notice there's also an applique band here. There's 4 applique panels, and those are kind of fun too. So we're going to do this as a 2-day workshop. So it's not just a 4-hour workshop. It's 2 4-hour days, and you get that the same way as you get every other workshop. So whether it's 4 hours or 8 hours, it doesn't matter. If you're a Gold Leaf member or a Platinum Leaf member, you'll get to choose either the Baltimore Album Block or Spring Fling. And if you want both, you can absolutely pay for that second workshop separately. Okay, so that's how things work in the membership. And we may have some new people here that came to us through Applique School this week. So if you're new here, you haven't seen us before, we are talking about how to rotary cut your applique shapes to do fusible applique using my favorite fusible, Misty Fuse, so you can get your applique quilts done faster, easier, and with beautiful high quality results. So I am going to end things a little early today, but I do want to just talk to you about what we're going to do in Applique School today. So Applique School is a 3-part series. Yesterday, we did rotary cut applique. So the techniques that I teach in my workshops, the techniques that I teach in my online courses, those are rotary cut applique. That's my specialty. So in Applique School, Day 1, I introduce you to my specialty, my favorite techniques, which is rotary cut applique using fusibles. Then today in Applique School, assuming all goes well when I go see Gilligan in just a few minutes, assuming all goes well and I don't have to postpone today's Applique School, we're going to tackle hand applique. So I'll be showing you the basic hand applique stitch. Hand applique is all about practice, so there's not a whole lot of new information I can give you about regular hand applique. So I'm going to interweave my techniques for applique into the hand applique demonstration today. So I'm going to be using my rotary cut applique tools, and I'm going to be using a little tool called a Hera marker. I don't have it here in my kit. It's over by my sewing machine. But a Hera marker is a tool that I'm going to use to help me fold in those edges under before I do the hand applique stitch. So we'll be talking about hand applique today, and I'm going to give you some really, really good tips. So even if you typically do fusible applique, there may be times when you want a hand applique, and it might just be as simple as putting the labels on the back of your quilt. We do that with an applique stitch. So I'll show you how to do that and how to get a nice clean edge and how to make how to stitch that applique by hand, but I'm going to give you some quick and easy tips to make that hand applique easier. That's my whole name of the game. I want to make applique easier for you so you feel more confident, you get more done, and you get high quality results. Okay. Day 3 of Applique School is glue applique. Why would you use glue on your applique? I'm going to give you some instances where glue applique might be the best method for the project and give you that technique as well so that you have the opportunity to try all 3 different types of applique and decide which one is best for you. If you fall in love with rotary cut applique the way my members have, then you may want to join Ahead of the Curve membership. We've just reopened the membership. We were closed for 3 months. I'm getting to know my members. I'm taking some time with them and really getting to know what they're looking to learn and get them started on their journey and get them introduced to all the other members. And now we've opened it up again so that I have time now to focus on those new members. So we are open. We're going to have some specials going on from now and until the end of the day on Sunday. So if you're going to make a decision to join the membership before Sunday, you're going to get some extra bonuses. Then it goes back into regular mode until we run our next membership campaign. So we are running the membership drive during Applique School. There will be bonuses during Applique School. So if you have not yet signed up for Applique School, you can do that right on my website, SuePellinDesigns.com. And if you're already a member here, if you're already a frequent visitor to Sue Pellin Designs, I just want to thank you for being here. Thank you for all of your support. I love being here with you. So how can I do this when my heart is breaking? You all lift me up. This is why I'm here. You lift me up. I'm here teaching, I'm here sharing, but it really distracts me and it makes my day to be here with all of you. So I want to thank you for being here for me. I want to thank you for your understanding during some difficult times. If for any reason I have to cancel today's Applique School, we will reschedule. I purposefully did Applique School this week because my mom is coming on Thursday. We finish Applique School on Wednesday. So if there's any way I can continue and go forward with it today and tomorrow, I certainly will. And as I said, you lift me up. So I actually enjoy doing Applique School even during a difficult time. So I more than likely will do it unless something really tragic happens with Gilligan. So thank you so much for your patience today. I'm going to cut out early because my son and I are going to go visit his puppy dog and we're going to go give him lots of love and hugs and speak to the vet. So I will look forward to seeing you all this evening at 6 o'clock on Applique School, but do watch your email just in case. I'm going to send a 30-minute reminder right before the Applique School session today, and look for that reminder because that will let you know for sure that we're on, okay? Your audio is cutting in and out. Oh my goodness, I'm so sorry about that. Hey, so glad that you're joining me this morning too. Just want to let you know that here on StreamYard, that's the streaming service I use so that this can go to Facebook at the same time it goes to YouTube. I don't see your name on your comments until I go out of StreamYard and into Facebook. So if you are sending me questions about audio products, if you're telling me you're thinking about me, thank you so much. But I'm not seeing your name unless you give StreamYard permission to use your name on your comment. Becky, thank you for the hugs and prayers. I so appreciate that. Debbie says her sound is not cutting out, so it's probably your connection. Okay. All right. Thank you for all the thoughts for me and for my family and for Gilligan. I so appreciate it. I'm looking forward to seeing you at 6 o'clock this evening if you're coming to Applique School. Gosh, I think that's about all I have to share with you right now. So I'm going to be on my way. I'm going to go pet my sweet little dog, and I will talk to you all again soon. Thanks so much for being here. And I hope that when you have struggles in your day, I hope that Applique or gardening or your friends right here are going to help you get through those difficult times. Love y'all. Talk to you again soon.